This video is made possible by our loyal Patreon supporters. Visit patreon.com/Psychetruth.
I have tons of awesome videos already ready for you on our Yoga Plus app, or you can head over to Amazon Prime. Hey there, it's Julia, and I am excited to do a quick little video for you because I know a lot of folks are tuning in asking a lot about the physical benefits of yoga. So in today's video, I'm going to introduce you to 5 poses that I feel like help us with our strength, our metabolism, our vitality. Because when we feel really strong in our bodies and in our physical being, we feel so much more empowered to enrich our lives, our spirit, and our mental well-being off the mat as well. And who doesn't want to feel a little bit stronger in their body? So, as I go through these 5 poses, I want to give you a little background about why I chose them. Each of these poses are not poses that are going to rely on your innate flexibility or range of motion. Rather, these are all poses that are going to really ask you to step up your muscle engagement. Because when we're thinking about building stronger bodies, when we're thinking about revving up our metabolism, when we're thinking about vitality and just feeling stronger overall, especially for my women out there like me, we know that having strong muscles and bone density is really important for us to feel vital as we age. And when we are thinking about things like a weight loss goal or a strength goal, or honestly just having a little bit more energy during our day, we can't skip things that build muscle. We absolutely have to have the muscle tone we need so that we can have the energy we need and the strength we need to get through our day. So don't expect a bunch of stretchy poses, although those are great as well. Today, I'm gonna focus on 5 poses that are really going to strengthen your body. All right, so the first pose I want to introduce you to is chair. You've probably heard of it. Chair is essentially a squat. So I'll show it to you from the side. Very often, chair comes with big toes to touch. You sink back like an imaginary chair, but rather than just letting your chest dip forward, you drop your tail a little bit, you lift your heart. And then once you do that, you're gonna feel that the back line of your legs really turns on. Hug your thighs together, and then to add a little bit more to it, you reach your arms up. When you add a little bit more to it by reaching your arms up, you just increase the lever, so you start to kick on your core a little bit more. You also are asking your shoulders to work. If for some reason you have some shoulder impingement, you can always bring your hands to your heart. Good, so I wanna also turn and show it to you straight on. You can bring your feet hips width distance like you would in more of a traditional squat stance. Some people actually turn their toes out in like a gym squat. I want you to just bring your feet wherever they comfortably are under your hips and sink back here. This is a really great option if you're someone who's expecting, maybe got a baby on board and you gotta make some space for baby. This is also a great option for anybody who tends to lose their balance when their feet are too close together, because this option gives you more surface area. It's also a great way for you to train both your inner thighs and your outer hips. As if you could split the mat apart, you feel the outer hips working. If you hug it in just a little bit, but you don't let your knees knock in, you're gonna feel your inner thighs working. Sit back and down. You'll turn on your legs. Hands can be at your heart or arms overhead. Hold this for a little while and you're gonna feel all of the big muscles of your body start to burn. These muscles are so important for our strength and our stamina and our metabolism. So anytime you avoid using your legs, you avoid the burn in your butt, you are skipping out on some of the nectar of your practice that's really going to help you feel more vital. So don't skip your chairs, okay? If you do have some knee issues, then just gauge how low you're going. And then just try to have a really healthy relationship between the kinetic chain of hip, knees to ankles. Yeah? All right, so that's chair. Don't skip your chairs, people. All right, the next thing I wanna bring you into is high plank. Oh, high plank. You would be lucky to go to a vinyasa practice that didn't have this, right? So it's really a staple in what we do. High plank, I like to think of it like the top of a push-up. The reason I think of it that way is likely you did a push-up in your life before you came to yoga, and so there likely is a little bit of muscle memory there for you. Your hands are gonna come underneath your shoulders, engage your legs, draw your belly in and push the ground away. Rather than lifting the middle of your back up towards the ceiling, I want you to broaden your collarbones. Really often, what people tend to do is pitch themselves really far forward, or they lift their butt up really high. Bring your hips in line with your armpits, engage your legs, and allow your heart or your chest to come right over your thumbs. When you do this, I guarantee you are gonna feel both your core and your shoulders and arms working. If it becomes too intense or you start to lose form, drop down to your knees. Hold a plank for 30 seconds or build up to 30 seconds or a minute at a time, and do a few of them every single day, and you're gonna notice that your core feels a lot firmer and more stable. Great. Plank is also a foundational posture for things like Chaturanga Dandasana, as well as things like feeling stable in downward facing dog, handstands, crow. So it's a posture that can help us feel strong in a ton of other postures in our vinyasa yoga practice. Next, I want to introduce you to high lunge. So high lunge is basically a cousin to a warrior one, but your back heel is up. So when you come into a lunge, maybe you've done lunge in a gym class where you're able to go down and up, and that's really actually great that you might have that muscle memory, because very often when we're in high lunge and we straighten our back leg, sometimes our low back hurts. So actually coming into this with a softness in the back knee, coming into a nice neutral pelvis so we feel upright, and then begin to deepen the posture to where you can hold it, is a great way for you to come into something that's both challenging and gives your hip a little bit of a stretch. So things to look out for when you're in a high lunge is whether your knee's coming way far forward or whether you're actually backing out of it a little bit. Engage the back leg, engage your glutes a little bit, and engage your low belly. Also, drive down through this front heel. You might notice that you have more opportunity to get lower, and you may also notice that the longer you hold it, you're gonna get a little shake and quake, and the buns on your front leg are gonna start to burn. This is all good. If you'd like to bring your arms up overhead, that's just gonna increase challenge and start to incorporate the shoulders a little bit. And remember, it's an asymmetrical pose. So be sure to do it on both sides. Speaking of asymmetry, that's one of the things that's awesome about this posture, is you're starting to work with one hip at a time. And when we're doing something where the right side of our body is doing something different than the left side of our body, we get a little bit of a bonus in that our brain is actually utilizing both sides of our brain. And when we do that, we're creating more muscular pathways, and this is just awesome. You'll feel more coordinated, you'll feel more stable, you'll also feel stronger. Again, this is a posture that's gonna use a lot of legs, and as you know, these leg muscles are vital in revving our metabolism, boosting our athleticism, and just feeling overall strength. Great. So, a partner to our high lunge, or our warrior one, is a warrior two. So, in high lunge, we have our heel up. In warrior one, we have our heel down. In warrior two, now we've actually opened up this front hip. We still want our knee to stack over our ankle, but now we have a little bit more coordination and balance, because rather than our body facing forward and our hips having all of this alignment of we're generally moving in the same direction, we're moving in a different plane of motion now. Now we're in our frontal plane. We're not usually as comfortable with that. This is our side to side plane. So you might notice the second you open up into this, not only is this often for most people a bigger range of motion for our hips, it turns on your legs in a different way as well. You're gonna feel this from your feet all the way up to your hips. Everything is working here. Now, some traps you want to avoid. Some people just kind of sag down into the flexibility of their hip. Instead, lift up 10-20% away from the floor so you really start to notice that your legs are holding you. Another thing that people do is they pitch forward. Pull yourself back and allow your hips to be stable. Really thinking about not letting this back hip get sassy. Drop it down and engage your buns like you're drawing your sit bones together a little bit and lifting the pelvic floor up. From there, you can add the arms in and take your gaze over your front middle finger. Great. And obviously, if you do it on one side, do it on the other. So Warrior 2 is one of those postures that just makes us feel like a warrior. It makes us feel strong and makes us feel flexible. And it also gives us that drishti focus where we can bring our eyes over that front middle fingertip and you're saying, yes, I'm here in this moment. Great. So we're gonna come on down to the floor for our last one. So come on down to your back and we'll move into bridge. What's interesting, the counterpart to bridge in the fitness world has always talked about utilizing your glutes as like hip thrusters. It's honestly the same concept. And we'll kind of break that down here. So bring your feet hips width distance, extend your arms down towards your heels, and then draw your belly button in towards your spine, right? So we're just creating a little brace for our spine so that as we go up into a back bend, we're not going beyond something that we can maintain. Lift your hips up when you're ready. Again, steer your tailbone a little bit towards your knees, your belly button in and up to your spine. And really often in a yoga class, we just immediately snuggle the shoulders in, send the hips as high up as you can go. Rather, I encourage you to just come up about 3/4 of the way. Engage your butt muscles just a bit, but also engage your inner thighs just a bit. So rather than letting your knees splay out or knock in, they're nice and balanced. From here, as you lift your pelvis up, you're gonna bring it up in line with your knees. So you have a nice diagonal line down the thighs, down the torso, into your chest. What I love about bridge is one, it's a posture that's gonna prep us for other things like wheel, but two, it's engaging the back line of the body. So often in our work in the gym or even running, right, we're in a forward position. We're maybe running forward or we're crunching or even in a plank or we're doing a push-up. A lot of that is really front body centric. But we need to stimulate the muscles in the back of our body. These muscles are also super duper important for our ability to feel athletic, for our spine stabilization, our hip muscles and our glutes, and we have lots of different layers of glutes, are really important for low back stability, as well as stabilizing our pelvis as we move in day-to-day tasks like sitting up and down in a chair or just walking. If you hold this pose for as long as I've been holding this pose, I guarantee you that you are going to feel your muscles turn on. If you're not feeling your muscles turn on and you're just noticing that your joints are sort of sagging, I want you to re-engage, really drive down through your feet and let the back line of your body lift your hips up. Great. Take one more breath if you're following along with me, and then we're gonna lower down together. Let your knees knock in. It's just gonna release some of the tension on the low back, and it just feels really, really nice after that posture. Great. Bring your thighs into your chest. Let's roll up to a seat. And that, my friend, is it. 5 poses that are going to make you feel stronger, that are going to rev you up and help you have a little more vitality, both on the mat and definitely off the mat in your day. I wanna leave you with this thought. So often when it comes to yoga, people opt themselves out of classes that might be challenging. I think maybe it's because they have in mind that they need to turn themselves into a pretzel in order to be able to feel successful in the class. But as you just experienced here, some of the most challenging postures are actually some of the simplest postures. So yes, you might have some muscular and physical discomfort, but you don't have to be able to put your foot behind your head in order to do yoga. So if there's a class that you want to go to, if there's a video you want to tune into, if you want to level up with me during my next 30-day challenge, I want to encourage you to do that. Yeah, some poses might be a little bit challenging. Some poses you might not even try with me, but I bet if you tune in, you are going to do more and be able to accomplish more than you ever thought possible. Don't sell yourself short. You deserve to feel really strong and powerful in your body. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you in the next challenge and in the very next video. Namaste.
Many of our subscribers don't see our videos. Make sure that you click the notification bell. And if you haven't already, follow us on social media for tips, tutorials, giveaways, and daily inspiration.
I have tons of awesome videos already ready for you on our Yoga Plus app or you can head over to Amazon Prime.
Introducing Yoga Plus, offering a free series every month with over 300 different videos. Take control of your health. Work out anytime, anywhere. Yoga Plus. Download now for free.